so quiet.
Attention! Go!
And still really quiet, right? No Coxes on board in this Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup. It's all the athletes. Some cheers now starting to come from the bank, but it's nerve-wracking. And these are juniors, right? This is the sort of junior quads events for junior women. It must be really pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and you've got some athletes that have not raced at Henley before, some that have. You know, it's sharing that experience and knowledge of previous, you know, experiences of racing the regatta for your crewmates, you know, to make them comfortable with what's about to happen, because it is so unique racing the Henley Regatta. The uniqueness of that head-to-head, that gladiatorial kind of racing you have out the track where you're bow ball to bow ball, blow to blow.
And they are blow to blow. They're getting pretty close there. Tideway Scullers School just drifting into the middle of the water. A little mutter under the breath there. Mia Lawrence in the stroke seat for Marlow Rowing Club. He's just 17 years of age. And talking of experience, I did also see in the Scullers crew in that opening shot, Amalca Delavante in the 2 seats, and you can see her there just one in from the right-hand side of your picture in this crew nearest to us. She actually won this event last year, and she's making the calls in that crew. You can see her there with the GB rowing team cap on, and she's there, and that's her making that call once again. I bet that brings a lot of experience to this crew, having a winner on board, Mark.
Yeah, definitely, and the crew will be looking to her, you know, especially now when, you know, Marlow have taken that advantage. You know, they'll be looking for those calls, those words of encouragement, you know, to be calm, collective, and this is the race we want. But it is incredible, this you know, what Marlow's done over the last couple of years with Pete Chambers in charge of their junior program. You know, an ex-fellow lightweight, know Pete really well, the quietest guy you would ever know, but you know, the determination, passion he has to kind of help young athletes, and what he's done at Marlow has been absolutely incredible.
They're always contenders here in this Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup, aren't they? This event that's been around since 2012. Marlow have always been sort of weekend contenders, or thereabouts. But this time they're wanting to go one better and be final contenders. They've never won the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup, Marlow Rowing Club. And this crew could be the ones to do it. And
just look at the concentration there. They are like zoned in. This is their moment, isn't it?
It is absolutely their moment. Mia Lawrence, we've talked about in that stroke seat closest to her. Behind her, Katie Breeze, who's notching up her 3rd Henley Royal Regatta. Ansi van Rombra in the 2 seats, and Iona Haley in the bow seat, just 16 years of age. She's got plenty more Henleys to come.
And you know, and I love it when you've got that broad spectrum of, you've got 17, 18, and then you've got a 16-year-old that, you know, it's just that purity of the event. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to go with it. And, you know, these older athletes are going to kind of help me ride this wave that we're currently on.
Yeah, and they are riding a wave, aren't they, here? They're really putting in quite the performance in the first half of this course, Marlow Rowing Club. They were silver medalists at the National Schools Regatta, which is kind of the benchmark, really, for what we see from the British crews here in the DJ. And
it is amazing that that is the kind of starting point for this summer racing, really. When you think about that, sets a tone of where they are, and by Henley, where they potentially need to get to. So, you know, you'll see them having kind of different regattas on the way here, but that is a kind of fixed point of starting point. Okay, we're number 2, 3, whatever it is, but how are we going to kind of make sure come Henley we cross that line first?
Tideway Scullers just struggling a little bit off the back of the pace here that Marlow are setting. Now, Scullers, Mark, I don't know if you remember last year, the absolute surprise that they managed to pull out of the bag in the final of this particular event. And like we've already said, Amalca Delavante was there. She did it. But Tideway Scullers came in as underdogs against Wycliffe in that 2023 final and delivered in spades.
And that was super impressive, because the Wycliffe program is super, you know, as we're going to see later, they're racing, there's 2 crews racing head-to-head later on. And I'm sure they're back for vengeance this year, but, you know, the way that Scullers attacked them, put them under pressure, then, you know, deservedly won that. And I think that's the beauty of it. Never just assume because of form guide it's going to go the way you expect it to, because it's on the day. You know, what you deliver on the day in that moment, you know, can be you know, overcoming, being the underdog and crossing the line first, and then getting that opportunity to stand up on the podium on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and that will all be tomorrow afternoon, but they've got one more job to do, which is get through this semi-final, which Marlow are currently leading. Now, you talked about the strength of the Wycliffe programme that we'll see later on, but I was taking a little peek at Scullers' entries into this Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup. They qualified this one boat. They entered 3 quads here, which I'd love to think that win last year has inspired a generation of new athletes to try and qualify and challenge for this event.
And I think that's something that's really important, is the ripple effect of crews racing at Henley and winning. And I hadn't really appreciated that impact, to be honest. And last year, obviously, Teddy's won the kind of PE, and I went to their kind of dinner post kind of the summer, and I was blown away by the impact it has beyond the crew that competes, beyond the school. It's the alumni, the people that won it 20, 30, 40 years ago, and just the ripple effect of it is just incredible.
Well, the ripple effect, I'm sure, will be also happening at Marlow Rowing Club, because this is some really impressive margin that they are holding over TSS, and Scullers trying as they might to close down that gap. And Marlow, I think at some point, that they're still hitting quite high, they're still pressing quite hard through the drive. At what point do you have to start to think about not getting too excited into these enclosure stages and conserving that energy for the final tomorrow? Yeah,
because we are racing late in the day, aren't we? This is late in the day, so they're going to be back here tomorrow. So recovery time, is the thing. But I'm sure right now that they won't be thinking about tomorrow. They're thinking about getting to the next marker, ticking that off, and it'll be somewhere. This is where experience will come into play. Okay, we don't need to sprint. We just need to make sure we consolidate what we've done. We've got, they've got the margin they need now. They don't need any more, so don't get greedy.
Yeah, don't get greedy, and they're going to need every ounce of that energy through the weekend and into Sunday. They've only got, one day to recover, which I think, these are junior athletes. I'm sure that Pete Chambers will have thought about what kind of rest and recovery they might need before tomorrow.
But it's also really hard, because you come off the water at Henley after winning, you'll have your friends, family, fellow club crewmates, and you'll want to celebrate. But actually, I need to start thinking about winding down, preparing for tomorrow, but you want to enjoy the moment. It's a really fine balance, and I'm sure Pete is going to be, spot on with that, with his experience of being an athlete.
Yeah, and teaching them, these young athletes, like I say, ranging in age between 16 and 18 in this Marlow crew. Lots of lessons to be learnt for them as they go on to later in their rowing careers around rest and recovery. Look at the way that this boat is moving, though. Very lively through some quite bouncy water.
And that's the challenge on a Saturday, isn't it? You've got the river traffic doesn't stop on the outside. You're dealing with that wash. The energy in the water just has been constant throughout the day. You've had lots of wind today, but they've really kind of dominated this race from the first stroke, took control of it. And it'd be great if you're able to enjoy these moments, because it's not often you get this sort of margin where you can really kind of come through the enclosures and take it all in, what's going on.
Yeah, they'll be taking it all in the sunshine. What a feeling, hey? I'm trying to figure out why everyone's got their umbrellas up. I can't see any rain, but there's loads of people.
It's because it's so bright now.
They're trying to shield themselves from the sun. We'll tell everyone at home that it's so sunny here at Henley Royal that, happen to find shade. Marlow Rowing Club, what a performance. I'm very impressed there by that quartet from Marlow. We'll have to say goodbye to Ansley Vickers, Almarca Delavante, Georgia Allen and Kate Colahan in the stroke seat, who will be heading back down to TSS and home after going out in this Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup.